Good morning guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at an off the books bounty deck that I put together for 10.8. Now I took the last couple weeks to get this one right. Ever since patch day I've been really thinking about what we could do with bounty, but this one here seems to be the recipe. The problem that I had before was not having enough spenders in the deck and not having enough profit cards in the deck and just trying to get that to run smoother, and this feels really clean with the way that we can get it to go. It also has some defensive measures like the Coarse Blacksmith that I decided to put in to play around things like the Toad Prince eating our spending engines in the monster matchups, or playing into Sahil where we need to boost tokens. This is actually a game changer, so it was a little last minute tech that I thought I'd just really point out that plays for a lot of points, you know, just keeping things afloat. So really happy with the deck so far. It's got consistency, it's got control, it plays an extremely well long round game and can easily defend a bleed as well. We have good tempo swings with things like Savola and Salamander Mage, and you know, just a bounty and a removal on the same turn plays for a ton of value with Freak Show killing something that we either given bounty to with the Witch Hunter, Kurt, or the Witch Finder, and then using those coins we gain back to take out another engine. It's quite nuts. And the fact that it's non-devotion allows me to put a heat wave in here so it plays well against scenario. It's got pretty well all the stops. It's a very difficult deck to play, so if you're new to the game, I recommend watching a couple games in the video today. If you're more tenured with the game, I think you should be alright. Just make sure that you don't find yourself in a situation often where by completing a bounty you'll over profit. Try and make it so that you'll just get enough coins back, and try and make it so that when we're playing units that have profit on deploy, like the Witch Hunter Executioner or the Freak Show or the Coarse Blacksmith, like these types of cards, Shady Vendor, that we're not over profiting and losing some of the coins that way. I included a game today that I made that mistake, and I can show you basically in that game. It took what would have been a win and it flipped the situation. So you have to be mindful of the bank, you have to be mindful about what's going into the bank, just like real life. And you know, if you're able to do that, you should be able to play this deck quite well. Tons of tributes for the King of Beggars, so we never brick that. We have the Professor tribute in the Onslaught or in a Scoia'tael with Dwarfs package matchup. We've got the Savola huge swing, right? This is mainly for the tempo swing. A lot of you guys have been asking every time I put Savola in a deck, why do we keep it in the deck? It's because to be able to pump out such a big point swing in one turn helps defend bleeds, and we can actually defend card. At the same time, it's to be safe for the King of Beggars. So we get that huge contribution to the 12 coins that's on King of Beggars, with this being 8 with our leader ability. So it takes care of 2/3 of the problem, essentially. So then we only have to find one more tribute throughout the game, whether it be a Morils, whether it be Salamander Mage, or whether it be, you know, Shady Vendor. So plenty odds of getting it there. I have Salamander Mages specifically for Swarm matchups. I think it plays really well against Skellige discard package in round 1. It plays really good against anything Syndicate that's running the Fire Disciples. It plays incredible against Elves and really gives us a chance in that matchup because the Tall Punish won't see as much value. And I like the fact that this is actually sort of like a profit engine. It's sort of like a juiced up tax collector. So if we can have one of these on the board, or even 2 of these on the board, at Adrenaline 5, we take a tribute, we gain an extra 2 coins. So we're always going to be filling back up if we could save our tributes to late round, and that giving us a lot more utility to do the things that we need to do to prevent the threats that we need to prevent, and you know, to boost up the things that we need to boost. So really cool stuff with that. I'm happy with the list. One thing that I thought about putting in would be the Peller, but we do have a Purify already off the cart that we can decide what we need to use it for. You know, second one never hurts, but I just don't really have room for it. I think the deck's fine the way it is, and if I was to play Bounty for the rest of the season, it would be exactly like this. So I hope you guys like the deck as much as I do, and I'll put the link in the description for you guys, so if you want to import it directly to your game and give it a try, by all means go ahead. And if you have any questions about how to use the deck, let me know in the comments below. Be happy to help you out. Just tag me in it so I could see that you're asking me a question, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I just want to say, guys, I've been grinding out the Twitch partner program route over the past month. Just sent the application in. I'm feeling really good about it. I just want to thank you guys for all the support on that platform as well. I know it sucks that I was streaming on YouTube full time and I kind of switched over, but I can assure you it's all for the greater good of the channel, and I have a plan. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully, if you haven't been on Twitch and you want to come hang out sometime, you can make it over there. I'm going to be streaming next week, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, GMT -4, and it's usually 4 to 5 hour blocks that I intend on going for. And I've been doing a little bit of variety stuff over on the Twitch side as well, and maybe some of that'll see YouTube, but it's kind of nice just to play other games as well. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We'll see you soon. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a like. And that's all I got to say for today. Catch you guys soon. Alright, so for the first game here, we got Tactical Decision Nilfgaard. So King of Beggars will go back. With Nilfgaard, I always want to get rid of something from Grave, so I'm pretty sure that's the case, but at the same time, maybe it's not. It's like Hyper Thin or Mill or something like that. I think we can let this go. If possible, we can try and win round 1 off the 2 engines here, and maybe have something like Tax Collector. Okay. It's kind of annoying. I do have ways to make coin, right? We got the 2 bounties here, and we got a freak show here. It's unfortunate that most of the good cards are in the deck still, so.
A pleasure to bleed you.
Renfree's a problem. If it's Renfree Mill, it's going to be pretty strong. It might just be the Traherne there just because, but I doubt it.
I like you whether you like us or not.
Depending on if they take leader here and what else they do, we might not be able to play too deep into the round, so we'll figure it out.
My men know the meaning of sacrifice.
Appeals can be filed within 7 years.
I want to give the impression that I'm going to play in, but I don't know if we actually can. Because when it comes to coin generation, I don't have a lot. I also want to fix the hand in case they are milling. But so far I've only seen one indication that they are, right? They find the pass here. Can we do it in 3? If I go for a Nero, I actually think it would involve spending multiple gold cards, and I'm almost more comfortable just defending a bleed. Like, that's just fine. I'd rather just fix the hand here. They sort of blew most, or a lot of the tempo here with the Renfri's gang, and then having Snowdrop, Leader, you name it, so. One of those has to go. I think Squirrel has to go. It just feels like all the gold cards went to the bottom. We'll take something like Vendor for profit early, and then we can funnel out some inexpensive bounties with this package and see how far that takes us here. So, 1 coin's not even bad because it sets up this. It's going to put the highest provision card. Well, I don't want them to take it. You kind of forcing me to play it now.
Not the dead, I'd imagine for a little rotten.
Okay, I don't know what the defender... Maybe they're trying to redo Leader or something. I'm going to have to play something like this. It's unfortunate, but... At least now we could start playing bronze cards to take the round, like... Just this here and kind of refunnel with this. Now, we started off a little aggressively, but we should be able to play down, you know, pretty well here.
The job's a job.
I suppose I could have put a bleeding here and then taken it, but it should just be fine.
Time to get our hands dirty. It could very well be the deal of a lifetime.
By denying penance, you confirm your guilt.
I'm just trying to build the King of Beggars real quick, but just in case we get the mill, use the tributes. Okay, yeah. I didn't think they had the steam to go all in here because you had so many high tempo plays here in round 1, but then you have the slow tempo plays in round 2. So they could have maybe taken teleportation on stuff like this and whatever, but I think we're just fine with what we have here. Most carryover we can take going in round 3, and then we should just draw better, I hope. Them milling it brings me a little bit closer to getting to like what we need to have, you know? And we still missed too. I guess I'll take I I think she does get removed, but it's probably still worth trying.
No, dwarves do not qualify for childcare tax relief.
I have enough tributes here to take out King of Beggars, right? Bounty, bounty. This is a higher point ceiling, but it might just get removed. Let's see what they roll. Okay, good enough for me. It's probably going to be Vilgefortz, I would imagine. But honestly, it's either that or on the Savola play, so draw the unit of choice. I guess they don't have what they need to remove it. So we get the extra turn here. Actually, never mind. It works like one turn. So this is probably the answer. Yeah, just a lock. Okay. I'll deal with this first.
Late for the best pie.
Just get a little bit of help on removing them, and then we'll just do the purify. It'll slap onto this, and then we can just go at it next turn. They have ball. Wow, it's got everything. Here. Again, we just want to keep these relatively low. I could save this, but I could also save this. You know what I think I'm supposed to do? I think I'm supposed to take this first. Realistically, like, the longer we let those sit, the worse it gets for me, and these are just engines that can easily be removed. So there, just kill it, and then we could start getting some value here. I have more spenders. I don't necessarily need that one. If they have another Fangs from hand, then fine. That's the only way. I can't kill it. Here, I'll do like a same turn bounty. Or actually, they might have another follow-up Fangs too, right? 2, 4, 5. Brings back 4.
Magic sows chaos.
That's 1 status. We actually have the perfect amount here to deal with it. Okay, I thought I was going to take a Purify, but I guess not. Here. It's taking a bounty here, for sure.
You shall confess all in due course.
It's like status, rent-free mill. Good thing it's not Cobb, actually. Tribute 4 we take. We get the refund and then the +2. It's probably just... just dish them around a little bit just in case I lose some, but I think we should just be fine here. We get a lot of coin back on the mages. What would you even want to take at that point? I guess they'd get 1 point out of it off like this. Here. Okay. Let's not boost the bronze then.
Best not play with fire, liable to get burned.
And then we just get the coin right back. Yeah, I don't see them coming back with that. There we go. Alright, we got Double Cross coming up here next. Playing card back. Default leader. You know, it kind of makes you worry. I don't know if it's Assimilate. If it's like Renfrey Assimilate, if it's just a meta breaker, like it's hard to play into round 1 with these decks, but I have to assume it's probably some sort of Assimilate. I just don't know if they're going to have Q. So for now, I think Squirrel goes back. I have 2 ways to give bounty, 3 ways to give, well, 4 technically. These aren't very good, but 2 of these aren't very good either. So that's a bit better, I guess. We just really wanted to have like one of these engines or maybe one of these engines early on, or a way to get them at least. For now, we just take the value play, I guess. We're gonna be running out of coin unless we spend something. Sure. If I give this bounty, they might think I have Graydon. I would still get Mariel's value there because we get a tall removal and we get extra coin back, but it would involve me spending coin. And then we'd put ourselves in a situation where we might overprofit. I think for that reason we have to take Shady Vendor and try to roll a spender. I just don't. That's fine. Now I have the tribute, so if they take another emissary because they have nothing else to do, okay.
I shall not repeat Mir's mistakes.
We'll get back the 6 plus the 4, I guess. I don't really need, well, it would be 5, but I don't really need the extra coin. Like, it would be nice, but they're probably getting ready to pass. So if I want to keep them in the round to actually see commitments, then we'd have to play something like this here. But beyond that, I'm not really sure what we could take besides Savola. And then we have the spender sorted out. So maybe that's the play. Maybe we start heavy. We just get rid of this and kind of see what that brings. Because look, 6... I could take this here at 8 and not even have to worry about anything. The only thing that really concerns me would be if they have a way to give the token spying, because then they get a really good Terra Nova play for free. But something tells me they don't have some things that they need, so... Did they ever just take that right away? They do. $14 each. 6 and 7. They would just play one more past long round 3. I don't want that. Given the situation that I'm in here, I don't know if Savola is too much of a commitment, right? Something like this would be really good value for them to take with leader. It could very well just be them just saying, you know what, we're passing on that, thinking it's great in. The reason why I do that too is because if I want to, I have Professor to give bounty. You know what I mean? So they roll the Purify. They obviously think that that's what the case is. Now we're starting to see some gold plays. And this is good. I don't have to take it. I was kind of worried about it, but... So we'll take 2... If it survives... Actually, it's 2 more, just to keep it out of a joust. Because I can get essentially full bank if I take the mage here, and we'll have some space to do it. This is an assimilate proc, and maybe they'll play something beside it. That's what it looks like, potentially. What's in my grave? One of these? Okay. They just get the spawn off of it, though. They have to probably take leader here, I would imagine. I think... I was going to say this can go, but I think I can actually just take this now.
Salamandra has no fear of fire.
Like, they're not going to get any value from this. This, yes, and then it could turn that on, which is, yeah, it's something. But we are up about 20 points.
Just a click. That is all I need.
Magic sows chaos.
Okay, so if I... Let's see what they do here. There's that. Click. They messed that one up. They should have taken out a 4. Because now they're still behind. Leader and Truffle spent. If I go and pass here, I essentially give myself like a double last say situation and have everything. Mind you, if they would have played it properly here, they would have had the extra points to spend, but we would have just been able to keep pressing, so I don't feel too bad about that at all. Uncontested last say, Savola feels pretty good here. Oh, Nero must be at the bottom of the deck. Let's see if we can get something better. We'll take the profit and try to get some carryover into round 3. Imagine. It's not very good, but it's definitely a start. I feel like the long round against the Symbolate's not bad if we have card advantage and all of our golds, right? Like, we did get a lot of threats out of the way. Not saying that we didn't spend anything either. King of Beggars spent in round 1's a little bit expensive, but it feels pretty good still. We'll go and put one of these back, and I think, honestly, what am I missing? Nothing really. Freak Show would be nice as a backup spender. This isn't really doing much. Okay, at least we have 2. So I would imagine that they probably will try and clog us up a little bit with tokens, so I don't really want to start with Disciple, just because board space could be a problem. Removal should be priority here. It also makes a copy not as good for them, something like that. Chances are they have locks. Watch them high roll one here too. It's been happening more often than I'd like, but a second roll at it, and then they're gonna get boost. Okay. That's a lot of value for Brathens. It actually makes it not really attractive to go and try to remove Brathens with one of our spenders. Okay, I don't know why they just gave it Veil when it already has Bounty. I guess to keep it above a full bank. Maybe they didn't see the Heat Wave that we had in hand in round 1. So I think it's the Heat Wave, because we get the payoff anyways off Heat Wave. And then we can now get rid of the next threat they have. That was just a huge turn for me. It played for like pretty well negative points for them. Or 4 points, I guess, if you want to say, but... And that's when they had enough. Okay, look. With the situation I was in, I was put in a spot where I'm going to overprofit no matter what I do. I think it was worth it to take out the Brathens and to get the new bounty. This is bound to happen when you're playing bounty, just because I'm going to make it a little bit easier to manage by just wasting a couple coin. That way we go 7. We can play this or this. That's a bit better. It hurts when they have stuff like Bribery out and they don't have any Assimilate engines. Also, I haven't seen them give anything spying yet. That's massive, actually. I think I'm still just good. Here, we'll play this now because we have space. There was an argument to take this first, but that's like my last like spender, you know?
I know the truth. I simply want you to admit it.
Us missing our freak show is bad. Here, I'm gonna have to just like take the L on this here and just put some coin around again. You hate to see it, but when you're spilling over like that, 6, it's like wow, you know? I think I'm gonna literally do 3 on each. Like I have more money than I know what to do with at this point. That's what happens when the bounties kick off pretty well. And the longer we take to play good cards, the less chance they have a good Terra Nova, so it kind of benefits us here. I don't like the fact that Here, I guess I'll just take it.
To the fires, Wyndham! To the fire!
Get it over with. Like, this is the round that I'd want to have something like the blacksmith. So that we could just put a bunch of boost and keep things looking proper like that, you know? Sure. Bounty goes on the Terra Nova because it's an engine. We don't get a chance to. We just absolutely crush it. Alright, we got Rage of the Sea coming up here next. I think the only variant we're going to come across right now would be the Golden Necker variant. So let's play into that. I don't really want to have the 2 of these in round 1, or at least play the 2 of these in round 1. It feels better when I save 2 spenders for late round and then 1 in the beginning, but you can't always get, you know, that lucky with it. So Squirrel could play huge because they have the real hand play. I mean, this kind of looks pretty good. The idea of their deck is to thin out to really low cards, play very quickly, get a bunch of rain on our side of the playing field, and then get back the real hand to proc Storm. And they make a card called Fulmar off of the Magic Compass when their deck's empty, which replaces all rain with Storm on a row. That's essentially the idea. I don't mind playing Professor because I don't have any coin, and I have really slow ways of making coin, and this is on the opposite row of where I'd like to put the tax collector. So for that reason, I'd probably take Tribute. Now we need to obviously take the Tribute to get through that armor. It is what it is, but it's fine. We get the coin right back. Now we're sitting on bank. Which gives us a couple turns to think about whether or not we should take Tax Collector. You know, we have time.
That might even be amusing.
I don't really want to plan 2 rows, but eventually we're going to have to. 2 points per turn seems hard to pass up here. If they have Burna, then the tempo is just too wild, but a lot of the discard stuff's out of the way, so it's too bad we don't have access to Kurt, because we'd get really good trade on the Ciri Nova play. I'm expecting something like that. This pretty much pushes me out of the round here. Hopefully just 2 and 2. My experience from playing something like what they are playing is that there's a lot of discards with this package, and then the Magic Compass and all that, and the deck's already thinned out, one with Riohan starting in Grave, and sometimes it thins too quick for my liking, but it's still, that's a tough trade for them to have to put back the Cultist here. I think I take Squirrel, just get it over with. I click once here because it rounds down anyways. Why wouldn't you take the coin? And a lot of the tempo from what they're looking to do is, you know, used. Like, seeing this package early is really nice. And then if we keep playing in, it gives them more time to play the Ciri play, which is kind of annoying. But I probably would have played it there if I was them, so I think I'm just allowed to take this now. And if they pass, we play something like that and just win. Oh.
Vargas, master of the craft. Tell me another one.
Interesting little tech, I guess. 35 to 20.
That one, he venerates not the fire.
Again, I don't know 100% that it's Golden Necker. I'm just assuming because I haven't seen anything above 9 provisions yet, right? This would be the peak. I find a lot of these decks as well have a hard time putting enough rain on the board because they need to have a certain amount of specials for Golden Necker, but they have a lot of thinning stuff that are mainly units. So, you know, I see them trying to do a lot of rain with units, and there's 3 of them here that they weren't able to play in round 1, so it makes it kind of tricky for them, right? So they're going to have to use a leader charge if they want to contest. They're just going to let it sit. Okay. I'm feeling like I should. It's kind of hard to pass up something like that, right? The Rose Gem, which is fine, but literally anything takes it at this point. We're hardly committing. Like, this play could be quite solid. And I'm really strongly guessing that if they had Ciri, they would have played Ciri by now. Because you don't really go down to 4 cards here just holding on. Like, you want to catch me in a spot where you have room to bleed with that card if you want. I also don't want to give them too long of a round because I feel like here. The long round's really good for rain, right? So Cobb goes. This hand's really nice. Like, I have pretty much like everything that I'd want to play. Except for Savola, right? Just have to decide if it's worth it. Again, we want the short round. A lot of the tempo's out of the way for them, so it might even be worth doing. It's just putting down something like this feels really awkward. Putting down something like this doesn't feel much better. King of Beggars at 6. This could play for damage by an accident. This is really slow. But it does make rain weird if they try to play rain quick, so I think I'm supposed to do something like this and just see what happens.
A beautiful pair of legs, please.
Okay. I'm gonna split the rows up because I'm playing like light, you know what I mean? And we'll do that just so that we have carryover. If they click that, obviously we get more of a easy removal here, so. Okay, never mind, it's not Golden Necker. That's actually really important to know. I think I'm allowed to remove that. Keeps engines going. And it's carryover. Deadly when it sticks, right? And I don't think they have an answer to it right now. Okay. Hate to see it, but like we waste coin otherwise. Actually, let's try and roll like a. That's the best I got. The overprofit's super uncomfortable, but come on. Nothing's sticking, so I have to play. And I kind of want to thin out this so I have better odds of pulling this. Fukusha plays into one of the... Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Gets 3. So we would just play this then.
Why the null stores? Anyone know? Not money states. Got it?
Just so we turn the engine on right away. We keep this out of removal range. I'm willing to actually put a couple coin in. With the 6, do I just go all in here, guys? Maybe? If I don't win this, I lose the game. Because I have nothing left for the Savola. It's Melu for sure. It's Melu or it's actually... I don't have one. It's gotta be Melu. Hopefully we get a good ping off the armor too. If it's a heat wave, I think we're still fine. Not enough time for this to proc. And also, they might have missed the fact that we got rid of the Riohan. But I doubt it. I think they're looking for Melusine. Or Messenger of the Sea and realizing that they don't have one. It's one of the two. This last leader charge will play for 2 points, brings them to 12. They need about 15 still. Maybe they have Restore? Okay. Wasn't expecting that, actually. And they get the heal off? It's not enough. There we go. Alright, so we have Invigorate coming up here next. And I wasn't thinking Renfrey at first, but now I'm starting to think Renfrey because they have that card back. Okay. Bounty, kill, Finn, kill. Maybe one of these goes back for now. There, that's nice. I'm not loving this and this, but it gives me things to do. Two for one spender feels pretty attractive, right? And we take bounty, kill, and then we take collector, Thin, maybe put this somewhere in between. We'll see what they play first. I don't think that this deck is anywhere near as good as it was when Renfrey was like the meta, unless they can somehow get armor on like a dwarf in hand and make that combo work, but it might not even be the same deck at all. I might just be paranoid.
I've seen it already.
Magic sows chaos.
The way I like to value these cards here are the base power plus whatever it helps us get. So if I can kill this with bounty, then I value this card at pretty much like 9 points. And
Scoia'tael, attack!
okay. That's actually a lot of buff. Here, I'll take it.
Makes for the best buyers.
By denying penance, you confirm your guilt.
Literally 9 went on the one card.
Come here.
Corporations are people too.
6, 7, 8. I think we still leave it like that. I have a little bit of tempo with something like this or this, but when they stack, we should be good for mage. I think we're okay, I guess. You don't like to be on blue coin in this matchup. It would be much better if they went first. Being able to bleed out all the hand buff is huge for us, right? We can't do as much of that. It's almost like we have to win round 1, go to round 3 with a tall punish, and go from there. And I still don't know exactly what variation they're playing. Well, now we do.
Sharpen the bolt, boys.
Okay. Kind of changes the way I look at the match. I think we just take a thin.
Sewers remind me of the fjords back home.
I'm not going to spend any coin anymore. I think they just have the win. They're probably looking at taking Renfrey as a carryover play now. So maybe they're using the last leader, and then they're going to go and take Renfrey off it. I would see that being a thing. Looking for like a cooldown leader. And then they have an uncontested last save finisher in a short round. It's not very good, for us at least.
Your magic
Or it's
can't
just
harm
that.
me. No magic can.
Look, I don't have it. That's it. So we're passing here. Luckily, I got 9 points of carryover taken out. I hope they don't have a whole lot more, but chances are they do. I took my thin though. We played all bronze. I don't feel too bad about it. That's much better. I take a spender. King of Beggars could brick. That could be like so bad. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a spender then. Chances are they play down to nothing here. The old version would run Geralt of Rivia or Igni.
Let us see victory for you.
Okay. I gotta get ahead. But at the same time... Okay. Is it ever Professor here? They might have Berserker still. I think it's actually the Finder. Because she doesn't get as much value in like heavy boosted matchups, right? So that's what I'm talking about here. We go for the carryover, which is kind of slick. And we just go from there. It saves me from being pushed. I still have enough going on. Good, good, and good. I like the bounty stuff a lot more now. And I think we just go and take this. That's pretty much the play. And then if we have to start it off, we just play tax collector, I think.
Appeals can be filed within 7 years.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
Wasn't going to, but it feels like I should. We gotta watch out for Skags, though. If they had Skags in hand round 1, if they're still running Skags, it's gonna be able to take out the Freak Show for sure. Okay, lock. Take the Purify.
Golden dragon. Our fires will light up the north.
I want it so that we can do it all in the same turn, right? It's not really what we want, but...
Taking up berries. Would you like an arrow to the head instead?
Okay, Purify.
You shall confess all in due course.
It looks better than it actually is. So this doesn't get... This doesn't get it, right? I think what I need to do is just take Cobb at 12, right? It's probably just the bounty play then. Because we click, we get back the coin here. I think that's fine. Let's just leave it. They might flip this, but I gotta keep the coins in check here. So they kept the dwarf package.
Now is the time of the sword and axe.
I get the refund, otherwise I wouldn't be taking it. I'm kind of worried that they flip this over if they have the other dwarf. But you think they would have done that by now. Like Monroe would be a really good flip here, but the turn earlier makes more sense. And then if they had chariots, they'd put it down.
I sense strong magic.
Profit. Let's get rid of that.
This commodity
You take damage.
I swear it.
Witch Hunter, 1, 2, so we get the 5. Just keep the board looking empty, right? This is like the annoying part, right? I can't deal with torque, so we have to just rely on everything else just working fine. And they know that too, so they can sort of play into it. Damage by 6. Deal excess. So be 1, be 8. You think they'd hit the freak show at this point? Which actually is bad, because then we over profit. After using split 6. That's annoying. So it's got to be this.
Take no prisoners. No prisoners.
It's fine, I guess. I have my reels, and we got a heat wave. And we get the extra 2 coin back from the mage. Okay. It's obviously all going into that one card here. 2, 4, 6.
Why the nose strips? Does anyone know?
Oops. $24. The last card must be a Glass.
But no, not a farming.
A Glass or Igni? Yurden.
Not your lucky day.
Okay. Alright, so we have Force of Nature coming up here next. Not really the spot that I want to be in by going first, but we'll play the long round game. In short term, they're going to be much better. This can go. I think this goes as well. 2 of these is kind of bad. We'll just put 1 back. Okay. I'm gonna float it. If they take Toad, it's really bad for round 1, but then we can play Freak Show more flexibly later. Again, I don't know if they're gonna be looking for removing something like that if they have Toad. Normally they want to save something like that to proc Thrive, so... I guess that feels like an overspend. If I play Witchfinder, they just pass early.
We'll need Form Z6 CV1265X for that.
I don't want to use a Professor for one of these two. What could damage multiple units? It has to be this. We'll have to kill it at 2. Just too many engines, like... And if we have to continue to play here, it's looking like Shady Vendor for profit. We take that. Maybe we take the Thin and we move on. See if we can get out of the round. If that's not enough, we can go and play Kurt. If we take Goliath, it's going to bring out the highest power card from our deck, which would be a Mage. Maybe I get damage here, but I'd rather just not. Profit 3, that's better. One bleeding because I go up to 6, which gives me 3 on a pass. Actually 7, so yeah, it cuts in minus. Okay. Divides by 2. Rounds down. Marios would be kind of good here, but I don't think that's the plan. They just go and consume it to save 1 bleeding. That's kind of what we wanted. It looks like either they haven't pulled or they just aren't looking to contest the round. For what it's worth, though, they have such easy points. They can give the illusion of not playing, and then you pass and they just do it in 1 turn. So I'm expecting kind of something like similar to that. Now, I think I'm supposed to go into a long round 3 because they have the ability to overswarm. I can't see myself pushing, but we'll have to see what we get. It could very well be the play, but a lot of times they have heat wave, and if they deal with this early, it's bad. But then again, round 3 and they deal with this, it's really bad too. King of Beggars is there. I think, what's Squirrel good for? A Goliath plays against an Ozrol, maybe. We probably have better ideas. Shady Vendor is just better. Okay, I don't have Heat Wave, but if I play this and they commit like a scenario off that, that's amazing. I don't have the type of spender I'm looking for here. We need something like that, right? But I could just use, like... I'm wondering if I should just take Witchfinder as bait for Heatwave. It's just that if we don't have an answer, then that's a problem. Shady Vendor can go for a spender. The spender it's probably going to get... It's not, I mean, that's just a lot, like an odds as well. It's not really a solid chance. I'm just going to pass here. I got to pull this or this, really.
Your magic can't harm me. No magic can.
good. That's as good as we're gonna get, I think. I miss Heatwave, so if they have a scenario, it's just tons of points. And they have El Nero, so I'm thinking if they're running it, they have it, and they'll probably play it first. Yeah. So now we'll see if they have a heat wave, because it's really the only way. I have 2 more bounties, which is good for funneling it back. I just hope the answer is not a lock. Okay. I guess we take the Purify there when we can. Realistically, I Purify now.
Nothing loosens reticent tongues like a hot iron.
Because then they go for 2? Alright.
Oh, makes for the best fires.
The second one's like probably just in there for the Thrive. That's all we got. I don't have any other ways to go about it, so we'll do the best we can to just deal with the threats as they come. I think Disciple's going to be one of my best ideas here for... It's gross.
Come closer. Come on now.
Can remove one of them. Multiple cat. I don't want profit stuff, I want surefire damage. So I think I have to take the ranged play and go for like actual damage by 4. I was hoping for payday there, but it's fine. And there's the real one. I can't do anything about that this turn, so we could maybe just set up for something like this. I actually lost a coin. Jeez, I'm getting stressed out because I feel like we're not going to win this game. So that's a mistake there. Should have put the 1 bleeding, then clicked. We lost a coin. If we lose by 1 point, essentially that could be why. And now they go for Kashi. I'm surprised that they didn't set it up. I guess they really wanted to have the 2 cats instead of the 2 Kashis because of the long round. Makes sense. It doesn't proc Thrive on the Kashi, which is nice. So, it's kind of gross, isn't it? We have to go and take out the cat first. There's no doubt. Okay? So, let's just get rid of that problem. No tribute. It feels really bad that we're doing this, but... And then we get 4 base power back off that. So it goes, there we go. And then we take Mariels. Refunds at 1. Plus the 2 we get here. It's winnable.
Remove his cowl, then his ear. Love to hear him beg for mercy. Not that it helps.
They might not even have a heat wave, because I would imagine that they probably... That's a late toad.
By denying penance, you confirm your guilt.
Let's play around Igni, I think. That's right, Osril procs the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 76. Okay. I don't want to do math, I just want to hope that it works out. I got that.
Yes, you. Have you made your offering?
I would have won if I didn't mess up, guys. On my coin earlier. Whoops.